Hey, and welcome to this Let's Read with Judge Dredd. And we're going to start off with Judge Dredd Complete Case Files number 1. We're not reading this whole thing in one go. We're going to read a story in post and story in post. So don't get too excited. This is not going to be like an 8-hour thing. Maybe when we get done, we'll post a compilation or something. But anyway. So for those of you that don't know Judge Dredd is a figure from a anthology of essentially comics. It's from Britain. The anthology is 2000 AD, and it's got a number of different things that have gone through it. You can actually get best ofs off of Amazon. I've pulled one or two of those in and looked at them. And Judge Dredd is one of their most famous characters in ongoing stories that they've had. So we're going to be taking a look at Judge Dredd at the very beginning. So this holds the progs 2 through 60 in this edition. So what that's going to be is essentially on the second edition of 2000 AD, which they were calling them progs for editions. Prog 01 did not have any Judge Dredd in it. Judge Dredd was created for and debuted in Prog 02, for Program 2, basically. And he ran from then on. So there's a lot of Judge Dredd. In this book, we have 2 through 60. So that's like 59 stories, and it's a pretty big book. You can get this in a softcover off of Amazon or other vendors through Amazon, or I'm sure other sites. You can get this on the Kindle. This is the version that we're looking at. And you don't have to actually have a Kindle to read the Kindle stories. You can look at it on the web through the Amazon Kindle store itself. So that's nice too. So whatever you prefer, if you want to have a nice solid book, these are good thick books. There's a lot of stuff in here. So anyway, and it's showing for Amazon. But that's where I got my stuff from. Your local book vendor can probably get their hands on it as well. Anyway, Judge Dredd was created back in 1977 and was meant to represent essentially a satire of the British and American systems of law and order. Being an extreme end of the satire, not intending to be, just a little hee. It's not Reno 911. This is taking what is there and going to an extreme with it as a form of satire. So, as we step in, of course, we got some cover art, and moving in, we get our first story. Meet the toughest lawman of them all, Judge Dredd. And here we've got a judge on a bike, and it might be Dredd. We can't tell. You can't really see his badge. And that's one of the things you'll see is that the judges all kind of look the same, except they've got a badge that has their name on it. Anyway, New York, 2099 AD, where huge skyscrapers soar miles into the air. Small buildings like the Empire State are in ruins, hideouts for vicious criminals. At the top of the Empire State, criminals look out as a judge roars along the road towards them. The judges are special lawmen of the 21st century, elected by the people to enforce the law. And coming out of the Empire State Building, we've got, "Look, a judge is coming to arrest us, Whitey." And we assume Whitey says, "Shut up, we'll deal with them. Judges can bleed too." And we can see way down there the little guy in a bike thing near the Empire State. And moving on. The criminal's leader was Whitey, because that was not very obvious from the last panel. And here's my cat walking in front of the camera again. Partially. You can see her back. There's her tail. Blocking me out completely. So there's something good about this. So the criminal's leader was Whitey. "And you're gonna bleed, Judge. I'm gonna blast you with this laser cannon." And And his little buddy down there, whose helmet makes him look like one of the mushroom guys from Mario. We'll call him Mushroom Head. Mushroom Head says, I hope it's Judge Dredd, you blast Whitey. He's the toughest of the judges. The laser blast ripped the judge off his bike. Dun dun dun! The criminals climbed out of the Empire State Building. Ha! You got him! And I can't tell who that is. You got him, Whitey. He wasted a judge. Yeah, and it won't be the last. And now I've got a different name for a different voice for Whitey there for some reason. Yeah, and it won't be the last one I fix either. And Whitey takes a look and he says, darn it, it was Alvin. I was hoping it'd be Dredd. No sweat, his time will come. No sweat, though, his time will come. And we see Alvin on the badge. And that's where you, that's basically how you can tell the judges apart. Whitey put on the judge's helmet. Look at me, you punks. I'm a judge now, Judge Whitey. And the guy that's not Mushroom Head says, yeah, Whitey, that Judge Dredd ain't got nothing on you. Meanwhile, at Justice HQ, the Grand Judge was talking to Judge Dredd. Good work, Dredd. Since you've been patrolling Section 6 of the city, crime has dropped dramatically. The people are in your debt. Thanks, Your Honor. Suddenly, a face appeared on the Grand Judge's scanner. Your Honor, Judge Alvin's just come back from patrol. Dead! Sorry. It's hard to take it serious. I'll be down right away. You better come too, Dredd. And I can only guess these are like motor pool jockeys down here, because they're not actually dressed up as judges. Also, it's weird, the Grand Judge doesn't wear a helmet, but all the other judges do. I guess so we can, sort of distinguish him from other people. Dredd says, there's a note. Oh, I'm sorry. They come running downstairs. Judge Alvin's bike riding an automatic with his dead body handcuffed to the handlebars. And the Chief Judge says, what? Dredd says, there's a note pinned to the body. Who you gonna send against me now, you punks? Judge Whitey. The Grand Judge snarled. Whitey's one of the lawbreakers holed up in that old Empire State. I'll send in an air squad and bomb that building and everyone in it off the face of the earth. And of course, Dredd says, no. Who's gonna have respect for the law if we have to call in the heavy boys as soon as the going gets tough? I'll go alone. I guess I'll go alone. For drama. You didn't know, but Judge Dredd's name is Joseph Drama Dredd. Not really. Later, at the Empire State, who's that sergeant, boys? It's another judge coming. I'm gonna blow that lawman's head clean off his shoulders, says Whitey with the judge's helmet on. And man, he looks like massively, orgasmically happy in this picture. And the not Mushroom Head dude says, yeah, Whitey. Huh? It's the judge's bike, but he ain't on it. A figure appeared behind them. Looking for me, lawbreakers? I set my bike on automatic, too. Judge Dredd, you tricked us! Blast him, boys! Then you can see they've opened fire and they're blazing away at Judge Dredd with laser cannons and whatever the hell the guys are using. Looks like maybe machine guns? I don't know. Well, no, that's Whitey, so I don't know what these other guys have. Who cares? I don't know why I'm reading so much into that. The judges are trained to have lightning reactions. Judge Dredd's gun roared once. Blam. Twice. Blam. I'm adding the blams in because it's just this laser blast. I guess it should be zap. I don't know. I'm not sure how to read these because sometimes they're firing some sort of round, sometimes they're, I don't know. It is what it is. It's Judge Dredd. Uh, Once, twice, you committed the most odious crime of all, Whitey, killing a judge. And he punches the crap out of him. Laying on the ground, or Whitey's on the ground now. I guess handcuffed? I can't tell. I'm gonna put you away for life. Later. No prison can hold me, Dredd. I'll bust out and come looking for you. I hate the judges and all they stand for. This prison will hold you, Whitey. We're sending you to dun dun dun. Dredd doesn't actually say dun dun dun. Devil's Island. Which, of course, is a famous prison, but that's not the prison they're talking about. They're talking about the 2099 AD prison, which is a big traffic island. Devil's Island, the huge traffic island in the middle of a vast intercity highway complex, where computer-controlled lorries roar past day and night at 200 miles an hour, where lawbreakers who commit serious crimes are marooned. I have no idea if they're just dumped there and left to die or what. They don't really clarify that. They just sort of have this weird traffic island they chuck them on. As you can see, it's a long way down, and anything close to it's got these computer-controlled lorries, which are big, heavy trucks. Think 18-wheelers, essentially. And it's the future, so they've got, 38 wheels or something. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about that. No! Not Devil's Island! I'm sorry! You'll have all the time in the world to repent for your odious offense, Whitey, as you listen to the thundering of the Damn it, Judge Dredd has developed a speech impediment. You'll have all the time in the world to repent your odious offense, Whitey, as you listen to the thundering juggernauts. Come back, you rats! Come back! I've given him some sort of hick accent now because it just sounds funnier that way. And the other guy's pointing at him and he says, there ain't no escape from Devil's Island, man. Those 200-mile-an-hour monsters never stop. You're here for life, just like the rest of us. Because I just love doing the hick accent, apparently. Back at HQ. A stern sentence, but a necessary one. The people must be protected from violent lawbreakers like him, Dredd. And Dredd says, I'll hang up Judge Alvin's badge with the others, which apparently is on a wall that says they died defending the law. But the law has stars next to it, so it's, like, the law! Anyway. Sometimes I think we're all going to die like Alvin, Dredd. Maybe. But in my book, that's the only way to go. In defense of the law. Writing in with the judge in 2080 again next week. And that's the first issue with Judge Dredd, his first appearance. Huzzah! Anyway, I find Judge Dredd to be amusing for the reasons that he's intended to be amusing, because he's an over-the-top cop, not in the sense of, a cop who's just out of control. We see that a billion times. We're talking about the whole system is blown up to be intentionally so out of control that it's ridiculous. And that's really the point of this, it is ridiculous. It's a crazy, blown out example of what things really are. So take what is and blast it to the next level. Anyway, that's today's episode. Join me again when the judge will ride. Okay, thanks for coming.